Hello, everybody. Brian here for quantlabs.net. How you doing, Paul? I'm going to show you the track record of everything. Okay, so I started doing this on the 3rd. I'm going to show you. This is the overall P&L, win-loss ratio, and all that fun stuff. Here I've got a log of all the crypto pairs that I've been trading on. This is all on Kraken, the exchange.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're going to be out of the U.S., right?
Yeah, I'm out of the U.S. I'm in California.
Okay, because that's the reason why I'm on Kraken, because I was on Binance and they announced a couple of weeks ago that they're no longer going to be supporting US. So
yeah, I saw that too.
Here I am on Kraken. Kraken's not bad. I'm starting to see some good movement with Coinbase, but the problem with Coinbase, their coin selection sucks. And I'm still pretty happy with Kraken. It's not a lot, but I'll show you what's going on here. So what I'll do is I'll first show you the overall P&L. So like I said, I started recording everything July 3rd last week. Happy Independence Day down there in the good old US. So on the 3rd, like I've been tracking a few months ago, but it was using a totally different type of strategy. It was momentum based, but the indicators I was using were lagging. So I started looking into, somebody told me to start looking into the order book with bid and ask. And I started doing that with both Binance, and then I shifted over to Kraken. And the other big difference between when I did that and what I'm doing today, everything's all in US dollar. So when you're using momentum-based time series, it's better to use crypto pairs against a fiat currency like the US dollar, because it's more stable than if it's against another volatile crypto like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So that's what I did, and I'm starting to see some improvements, but these are what I'd say more realistic improvements. So on the 3rd and 4th, what I found was some bugs. And two things I track are rate of change percentage. So when I put on a set of positions for the 24-hour period starting at midnight my time, which is Eastern Standard Time, I track all those positions and I total up the number of total returns I get on all those positions. So that's what I call the RSOP. So it's a return of change on percent of each position when it's sold off in the markets. Then the big one I track is the win-loss ratio, which is the number of positions I put on and how many were profitable. So you can see here it's pretty wild at 98%. On the 4th, it's 100. And I started, we got a bug here. So what I did for the 5th, I changed and noticed things. So I'll show you in the P&L what I saw. And I knew this. In here, in my strategy, now remember, this is all paper trading. That's another big key here, is here's what I track on the Excel when it generates the Excel files each day. We get the timestamp of the position. We also get the profit loss for that position. This is the current close, entry close, or that should be really exit close. The quantity return again of change percent for that position, and this has still got to be worked out. So one of the indicators I use, the bid versus ask, and that works pretty good. The problem I noticed was in here when you look at the P&L, my strategy or my bot, what it will do is if the position goes below 0, it'll cut the trade once it goes below 0, meaning I'm breaking even and we don't want a profit loss. So I get a lot of these, and the bug was my system would track that as a win, as a profitable position. So so what I did on the 5th, I fixed that. So I removed all positions that had a 0 return or broke even. So I got rid of those. So what I did was I adjusted it where it recalculated everything after removing all the break even positions. And what would happen is it would readjust everything, reduce the number of positions, because it would either be a profit or a loss, but it wouldn't be a break even. So what happened was on the 5th, we started. I don't know if you track crypto at all, but on the 5th, it was a very negative day, and there were only looks like there were only 4 positions put out in total, because my system, when the markets are negative, it will not trade. It's too risky to put on a position. So the majority of the day was extremely negative. So it had some opportunities there to trade, but there were only 4 positions. So I started tracking that, what I call the real profit loss, when you factor out all the break even. Mm-hmm. So this is the total sum of returns for those 4 positions, which 2 of them were winners or profitable, and then I broke even because of that at 50%. So the 6th, which is Saturday, this is what I started to know when I started to track this. Usually, the positions would be profitable with just over 50%, so only half. Another big bug I found was Bitcoin itself, because what I'd be trading on is when it puts on a position, the quantity of it would be 0.25%. So whatever the value of the coin at that time, it would just do an easy quantity of 0.25% as a position size. Okay, so what would happen is when you started trading Bitcoin, because it's so expensive, and you factor out that 0.25%, the position size would be like skewed like out of all the other coins. So, in this case, I took on a $21 loss on just that one position. So I'm going to fix that today to when it's a Bitcoin position, it's not going to take on 0.25%. It's going to take on 1/10 of 0.25%, so it's not so skewed against other coins. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Because it's totally skewed otherwise. So when you look at this on the P&L, on the overall P&L, you'll get these P&Ls that are like $10 or $34. That's because of the Bitcoin positions, but it does not reflect all the other coins on their performance as well. So any Bitcoin position that comes in, positive or negative, it totally skews the overall daily P&L of all those positions. So that's why I got to reduce the position size quantity of Bitcoin itself to something that's more reflective on the overall total performance of all the coins that this thing's trading. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you get here like a summary of $19. That's just one Bitcoin position, but it does, as I said, does not reflect all the other positions of all the other coins.
Sure.
So I got to fix that. But one of the key factors I'm always looking for is how many winners do I have out of the total number of positions. And usually, one thing I'm happy to say is that majority of the days since the 3rd have been over 50%. So that's a good sign as far as I'm concerned. The only thing I got to fix here is on the total daily summary of the P&L, because of the Bitcoin value is so skewed against the profit. Mm-hmm. So that's what I typically.
How are you deciding when to exit?
Well,
based on the bid ask.
Yeah, I use the bid ask as one exit. I use also the change of the actual position. So one of the key factors I use is the ROCP, the rate of change on the percentage. But another big factor I don't talk about, or not now recently, is Fibonacci levels.
Okay. Yeah.
So I use a 618 entry, and then there's 2 legs. Usually, if the momentum behind all the coins is when you look at a 718 level, that's the first leg of profit, and then the second leg of profit is the level 100 or level 1. And then that's the second level of profit, and that's how I track the exits for now. So I'm not using any stop losses yet, but I'm just using Fibonacci levels. So so the key here is that The two things I look for are the win-loss ratio of the day, and eventually the other thing is I want to look at the total rate of change for the day. So if I'm trading
Mm-hmm.
crypto, I want to be able to get at least 1% move every day on positions. That's my goal. But when you look at this on a bad day, like on the 5th, where it's extremely negative, that's only 0.13%. Whereas yesterday was a better day; it's only 0.84% move up. Um,
Right.
so this is a goal I'm trying to achieve. But see here, we have this one moved up yesterday at 1.18% for the day. So it really
Uh-huh.
depends upon the overall market on how the overall cryptocurrency is trading for that day.
Yeah,
But
how pretty much how volatile it is at this time.
it's super volatile. I'm going to explain about my pair trading, what I've seen over the last few days. I can explain
Mm-hmm.
that in a minute. But yeah, those are my two goals. My primary goal for the day from a portfolio optimization goal is I want to get uh, every day a 1% move. I mean, statistically, that's pretty hard to do. But even if
Yeah.
I get 0.5% a day, I'd be realistically be happy with it. And remember, that's 7 days a week because crypto is 24/7, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's my overall goal is to try to at least get 0.5% a day, preferably 1% every day. So that's my number one goal every day when this thing trades. And the one of the best ways to do it is to try to get a win loss ratio of at least 50%, maybe
Uh-huh. Yeah.
55%. But statistically, this is only like 6 days worth of data. But if the way it's looking is if I'm getting a 55% win ratio for the day, that's pretty good
Yeah.
way it's looking.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. But again, this is paper trading, so I have to now put some money behind it
Right.
in the next week to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
how it performs. And then I may have to retweak the exit component of the bot to try to not have it approach that zero break even as well. So there's going to be still more tweaking, but from what I'm seeing, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
and
cool.
from what I've seen from we'll say last 2 years of testing both forex and crypto with various different strategies, bots, whatever you want to call them. Realistically, this is as good as you're going to get from all the things I've tried to look at whipsaws and move against positions and all these other different methodologies. This is I
Yeah.
really think this is the best you're going to get in any market, specifically crypto or forex.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I'm seeing in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that answers. Like this is just what I wanted to present. So now the other thing is I wanted to show the types of coins that are being traded. So starting on the 3rd of July, these are the coins. So we have Stellar, Monero, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, Cash. We have Litecoin. Litecoin's an interesting one. EOS is
Huh.
doing really well. Ethereum, and then there's Bitcoin somewhere going to be in there, and that's what skews the whole
Yeah.
thing. So those are the usual coins, and again, it really helps to have whatever coin you trade in US dollar because you're factoring as much of the volatility out
Right.
of the trade. So somebody told me who's very experienced in this because this is a momentum based strategy where it longs and there's all the trigger points for an entry and same on the exit. But usually these are the coins that I'm seeing that are the profitable opportunities. It's usually 5 or 6, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm seeing, but those can change. Obviously, in the next week, you get a different subset of different coins. But because
Yeah.
I'm trading in U.S. dollars, as I said, it takes probably away 50% of that volatility because I'm trading in a fiat coin. And one of
Yeah.
the big things that I don't like about Coinbase for people like you in the U.S. Coinbase has their own. I was watching on Bloomberg, and there's Circle, and Coinbase. They teamed up to create USDC, US dollar coin, which is
Yes. Yeah.
equivalent, to Tether, but it's not the real McCoy. It's not the real US dollar. Where Kraken, there's 18 pairs that can be measured against the US dollar, and I think with Coinbase, there's like maybe I think it was like 2 or 3 coins that are measured in the real US dollar, and the rest are measured in this USDC. So it's another crypto coin tethered to the dollar. So I don't like those kind of exchanges, and that's one of the big things I'm not a fan of with Coinbase. And plus, Coinbase, their coin selection is not that good as Kraken.
And their fees are higher too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like when I was with Binance, it's 0.1% commission fee on Binance, but when I with Kraken, it's 0.15.
Okay.
But it's weird with the API on Binance, because when I'm starting out, I want to trade minimal position sizes. So what I'm finding is with Binance, there was just some weird things going on where you think that the position size is meeting the minimum standard, but it would reject the order. And this is with live money too. So I was like, I'm not liking this type of trading, and that was one of the other big reasons why I moved to Kraken as well. So, I'm not sure if Kraken's much better, but at least you have the satisfaction that it is supposedly regulated within the States.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm experiencing. But I would, if you're starting out with an API or doing a bot, you should trade in US dollar. And from what I see, Kraken's the only one that offers it.
Okay.
That gives you access into the crypto space. And I think Coinbase is good for transferring crypto on a wallet, on a phone,
right? Yeah.
But trading on it as an exchange, I don't know. I don't feel the volumes are higher now on Coinbase than Kraken, but Kraken right now is the best one out there.
Best one out there.
Yeah, for Americans. Yeah, from what I'm seeing. But that could switch. Like that could switch by the fall, let's say, and who knows?
Right.
But my concern is this USDC coin. And you know about Bittrex and I don't know Polyonex, but Bittrex, you know about the New York State Attorney General when they slammed the tether. So there's this kind of there's this questionable stuff with the tether, but Binance is still trading in it, so I don't know what to say. But I think everything comes down to Kraken. I'm going to probably stay with Kraken for a bit. But again, there's only like 5 coins here that are worth trading from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But when Bitcoin moves up, a lot of these will move up in conjunction with Bitcoin. I don't know if you've seen my videos on when I do a performance check on a weekly or a 2-day view of Bitcoin, and I do a comparison with Ethereum. Litecoin's a little different, but Ethereum moves similar to Bitcoin. It's very similar, and there's a couple other coins that move the same way. Yeah. So I'm seeing that. So as I said, I just want to address one thing before I forget. Is with this now this strategy is momentum based. All this data, these time series are momentum based. Okay, so I'm trying to develop a mean reverting strategy for the same data. This is hourly data that I use. I used to do minute data, but I got a lot more losses with minute data. So I slowed it down to hourly, and then with the mean reverting, and that you start to go into a pair trading path. I've been tracking that since last week. If there's co-integratable pairs that are consistent, where you can put on a trade where it is what you think is a pair trading opportunity, but because of the volatility is so wild, even if you found a pair that seems to be co-integratable, it does not hold. So
Yeah.
pair trading, at least from what I'm seeing, it's impossible to do. And I'm using daily data too. And I think it even gets worse
Mhm.
when you trade on on a on an intraday, even going all the way down to minute data. So
Yeah.
it's just something I'm not really worth wanting to pursue at this point.
Hmm.
I've got a guy on my chat server. He's like ultra low, right? He's ultra low frequency sub minute, um,
Uh
and
huh.
and he's doing. I don't know if he's doing well. I don't know how his performance is doing. But from what I'm seeing, he's using BitMEX, but it's a totally different style of trading because BitMEX is built around a futures market with Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Okay.
So it's a totally different style of trading. But he's doing mean reverting. But when it comes to retail traders, I think crypto is kind of hard to do for pair trading,
Yeah.
from what I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with this momentum-based trade as a bot. But you're going to get days like this, what you're looking at here. This is the slow day where uh, the market was strongly negative on July 5th.
Hmm.
And there was only six, from what I'm seeing, six trading opportunities that this thing took, and at best it broke even.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of my trading conditions to make sure that the market, I have these 5 coins. Well, actually, I've dropped it down to 4 big coins. So if you go on to, maybe I can find on my Instagram, because I put all my fun stuff on Instagram. So if I show you some of these big, I have a metric that I use, like this weighted, yeah, right here. So here I use Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. I used to do
Okay.
Ethereum Classic, but it's too small, so I dropped that and just tracked the 4 coins. And if they're all positive, then you know it's game on for trading.
Gotcha.
And that's what I use as one of the metrics to say we have liftoff for however long. It can be 3 hours, 6 hours, up to 12 hours, where the system or the bot will go crazy. Like at this point, between 1:30, there was around 12, 22, between 21:20 and 22:30. So it looked like it was like an opportunity of trading at that time, around 11 p.m. on July 5th, for maybe an hour or two, where there was some trading opportunity that the bot took advantage of, and
Yeah.
that was because these coins I got here were up, quite a bit.
Okay.
And what you're looking at, these values, these are hourly moves percent wise. So the
Okay.
market went right up for an hour, where, for example, Bitcoin Cash was up 3.11% for an hour, and that's when you start trading. It's like trying to fish, right? And you're
Yeah.
sitting there with a worm on a hook, and they ain't biting. But there's a certain time when all the coins are starting to bite, and they can start trading it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing.
Interesting.
And as I said, for the pair trading or anything mean reverting, uh, I'm struggling with it, and I'm not going to give up on it, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather do pair trading with forex, because I'm using Oanda, and I'm seeing one or two
Hmm.
pairs that are very, very consistent, that hold for a couple of days, even sometimes a couple of weeks. So pair trading with mean reversion for forex looks like it works, but I just can't get it working with crypto. So I'm just
Crypto.
going to stick with what I have here with the crypto.
Yeah.
That's pretty well it. So
Pretty good.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Thanks a lot for that.
Oh, no problem, no
Yeah.
problem. So the only fix I still got to do is this Bitcoin position right here that skews the P&L. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to show it everything all relative against all the other coins to show how the overall daily strategy is, instead of these crazy, like up or down $19. There's just one Bitcoin trade that just sort of poisons the whole set of trades, and there's 15 of them, and then along
Yeah.
comes this
Yeah.
Bitcoin trade and totally destroys the overall P&L for the day. So I got to fix that.
Yeah, it's almost like you got to normalize the value of the coins.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but the one I'm seeing that I like a lot out of these coins is Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash seems to trade really well, and some, not all the time, but I will see. Like in this case, Bitcoin Cash was outperforming Bitcoin, so it's a nice coin. There's a lot of noise in the news. They're talking about Litecoin's going to come back in a big way. So as long as I'm trading these coins that are listed here, I should do okay. And another news item I just saw was that EOS, they're saying could be hit, it could go all the way up to number 2 position, because when you look at the market value, I haven't done this yet, but at Coin Market Cap, if I look at the volumes of Bitcoin, I know number 2. So the market cap for Ethereum's at 32 million. Yeah, it looks like they're saying EOS is supposed to eventually get up to the levels of Ethereum. But you can see it's number 3. It's just looking at the volume over 24 hours. Litecoin and EOS is number 5. I really can't trade Tether by volume because it's I don't know, I'm not comfortable with that coin. I can trade that in Coinbase in Kraken, but you're going to make fractions in profit, so my bot doesn't even trade Tether against US dollar.
Right.
But when you take that one out, but when you look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and then EOS is the one to watch, I think, because XRP is dropping off, Bitcoin Cash is still hanging in there, so those are the ones to watch. And the funny one, you can still make a little bit of money with Ethereum Classic, and Monero is another one. I just don't see any trades like I would like to see with the Zcash. But those are the performers right now, the ones I just showed you.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm seeing.
Nice.
But when I was on Binance, like Binance BNB, Binance Coin was doing well. This one, Binance Coin. And then Neo was a good one too. And Stellar looks like it's coming around. Dash I like too. But I'm not seeing those perform well, at least not in the last 4 or 5 days. But it's a good broad range of different coins to watch and have this thing trade them.
Yeah.
So it's a good crossbreed, I think, or a good number of them, good diversity of coins. That's pretty well it, I guess.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that's pretty good. On side note, I know you were interested in a MotiveWave.
Yeah.
A couple months back. You still looking at that?
Yeah, I am. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been using MotiveWave for about the last 2 years, probably a little bit longer.
Yeah.
For trading futures.
Yeah.
I really like that platform.
Well, it's amazing. It's an amazing platform.
Yeah.
The thing is with MotiveWave now is that are you doing anything with the API at all, like the Java, or do you just?
Yeah, I have not. No.
Yeah, it's not a the documentation in MotiveWave are awesome. The thing is with MotiveWave, it's just I'm so entrenched with Python. There's 2 paths I got to go down. I got to go down MotiveWave, and I also got to go down the path of machine learning. Mm-hmm. So because I'm in Python right now and it's free, it's open source. My next step I'm looking at, I don't know which way to go yet, is with the machine learning, specifically TensorFlow 2, that's just coming out. Is that I want to take all of these positions that I'm seeing right here, track them, log them, also record all of these setups, because I have a watch list as well. So what I want to do is feed in the profitable ones and the losing ones as well, and then feed those into a machine learning model and train it and see if I can enhance the ways to to find the probability of more sure shot ways of getting profitable trades. And
that would be interesting,
Yeah, and look for patterns that I can find that as a human, I don't think humans can do, but I would like to put aside time to look at that and just record all the setups of an entry, of a profitable trade, the same with a losing position, and then also record and train a model for during when the position's on and when it comes off, and try to find if there's a model I can build from that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with something like any platform is with even MotiveWave, you could kind of do it, but it's a lot of work to do that. They've really opened up the software development kit, but that's I think that's where the big growth in trading will be from an automated or algorithmic standpoint, is that more and more people are going to start demanding the interface into a framework like TensorFlow, and that will become a standard on any retail trading platform. So, but the thing I want to use MotiveWave more for is just for visualization.
Yeah. Its graphics are really nice.
Oh yeah. Are you on the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah, I've been playing around. I take that back. So I'm on their latest beta version, but I don't have the Ultimate. I've got I forget which one it is. It's like I'm 2 down from Ultimate.
Okay. Have you played? So what are you specifically using in MotiveWave? Which type of studies or strategies are you using?
So I do like Bollinger Bands, and basically it's kind of like a mean reversion strategy. It's my primary strategy. The other thing that I play around with is order flow through OFA, which is Order Flow Analytics.
Yeah,
there's a guy that came up with a tool to take a look at order flow, and he's got that automated. So I use that a lot also, especially for I'm using that on futures for both indexes like ES and some of the energy ones, also nat gas and oil.
Right. So are you trading intraday, or how long do you put on your positions for?
I put them on for at most a few hours. That's it. I close out every day.
Okay. And you don't hold on. Trading. So when you say you close
I don't hold those on overnight unless I make a mistake.
So yeah. Are you when you say closing out, you're using the futures market out of Chicago as your?
Yes.
So you close out before when Chicago closes out.
Yeah. So typically California time at 1 o'clock, I'm closing all my orders.
Gotcha. Okay. And when you talk about this order flow, is it's a plugin for MotiveWave?
It's a plugin for MotiveWave. He's also got one for what is it? He's got one for a few other trading platforms.
Okay.
But he came up with ported his software over to MotiveWave a few years back.
Yeah.
And he also has some really nice tools for automatically exiting the trade. So let me find his website.
And it's OFA?
Yeah, it's OFA, yeah.
Okay, I could probably find it. Give me a second here.
Like order flow analytics.
Okay. Order flow. Have you seen what's in the new version 6? Because MotiveWave have put in a huge set of new features on the analytics for the futures market. Is this it here?
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
Oh no,
yeah,
no.
That's it.
Because they've done some huge work on order book analysis. I mean, more than I've seen even in what both Oanda and any of the crypto exchanges offer. There's a provider out there. Let me see if I can find the provider. Right now, it works with one of the futures providers. Just give me a second here. Let's see here. Support brokers, data services, and I was like amazed on what you can do with it. Which one is it? It's the level of detail is just mind. Yeah, it's rhythmic.
Rhythmic, yes.
Yeah, the detail is just I've never seen anything like this with the new MotiveWave, and it's all order book analysis. And right now, the current version only works with the rhythmic. Like if I was to trade, the next big trading area I'd move into is options. But right now, I'm just obviously doing crypto and forex. But my next big one is going to be more likely the options, and then do like I've already got a strategy in mind about is it options versus futures. So
yeah, you also do options on futures too.
Yeah, what broker are you with? Like you with like Interactive Brokers or?
So I've got an account with Interactive, and I also have one with Stage 5.
Stage 5. I think they support here it is Stage 5.
Yeah.
And where's your live trading? Is it in IB or Stage 5?
It's primarily Stage 5, but I do also some live trading on Interactive.
But how come I'm noticing a lot of people are moving off of Interactive Brokers? Is it because of all these new restrictions they put on accounts?
That a little bit, but I've always run into problems with their data feed.
Right.
It doesn't seem to be as, I know I can use, CQG or CQG is the one I'm using for and use that with Interactive Broker.
Yeah.
But then I've got to pay for data feeds for Interactive no matter what. So,
right. I thought once you get to a certain size account, like the data's free. I don't know what it is for futures, but
I must not be at that size account then.
Yeah, I didn't know that because I always thought that they included the Interact. Like I know with is it 4? No, it's stock. Like here in Canada, if your account's smaller than 3K, you don't get the data. You have to pay for it if it's less than 3K.
Yeah.
But more and more people. Go ahead.
Stage 5 data is included, at least for my account size. So.
Okay. Okay. So you primarily live trade with Stage 5 then?
Yeah. Yeah.
And with this plugin that you're using, this OFA, are you finding like how's the performance been? Have you been pretty happy with your performance?
Yes. Yeah. It does pretty well. So one of the things that they kind of like the tool is good for entries.
Yeah.
And his automated system for exiting will, it's very much, it's kind of like you want to take profit at not so much Fibonacci levels, but it's like 2 times, what the risk that you put on. And then, again at 3 times and 4 times, and you can adjust those, but it's automated. So it just occurs without you doing anything. And also it takes a look at your account size. So when you go to put on an order, it will calculate how many contracts that you should put on.
Well, I'll look into this.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, so it takes kind of like the emotion and your own analysis out of the picture, because everything is kind of scripted as to where how big of a position you're going to put on and when you're going to take things off, and it automatically sets your stop levels too. So, and you can adjust all those things. You can define the rules within OFA and have it follow those rules. But it's pretty easy to use.
So when you go ahead.
Yeah, and it gives a really good view of the order flow. So in terms of how many orders are coming in, how many are being filled, how many are put in and pulled off the book.
Yeah, that's I know there's the MotiveWave does that study. Like it goes very deep.
Yeah.
Very deep.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that if you're using a tool like this, you will no longer need it with the new version of MotiveWave 6.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah.
Oh, the amount of research put into it, I was just blown away at how good it was. But as I said, right now, like this is about 2 months ago, but with the rhythmic, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But overall, on the exits, are you happy with what you're getting? Like, do you think things are working as they're supposed to? Because I struggle with this for a very long time, and it does not matter what asset class you're in. It's a universal problem. But has this helped you in any way?
It has helped me. I mean, for me, one of my biggest problems was not following my own trading rules.
Right.
Yeah. And, I'd say, I've seen this before, so I'm going to go in. And whereas with using MotiveWave, I just kind of let it, put the signals out there and just use, have OFA's tools, show the signals and have MotiveWave actually, trigger an actual, order.
Right.
And try to keep me out of it.
But are you overall on the winning side? Or are you still showing losses?
Yes. Yeah, I'm on the winning side.
Okay, cool.
Luckily, at least lately.
But are you just over the winning, or are you convincingly like at 2/3, like 66% of winning on any position you put on?
So my win ratio is more around like 35 to 40%.
Okay.
What's going on?
Yeah.
But my profit ends up being large enough to cover, to keep me profitable.
Right. So those are on the.
I'll have more losing trades than winning trades, but I'm getting out of those losing trades earlier.
Right.
And my winning trades are, some of the runners, especially if I got a runner, then, it makes up for my losses.
So those are some.
I'm not winning every single day. Definitely
right.
Not. Yeah.
But just on average, though, if you're winning and seeing.
Yeah, on average, I'm profitable.
Okay, so your equity curve is definitely growing then.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's what matters. But what are you on average, like if you were to, I don't know if you track that, what I was showing, the rate of change on all the positions, are you consistently over maybe 0.5% or even 1%?
I have to go back and look. I would.
Like, what does your gut tell you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'll
okay.
Look at my numbers.
Because I think that's key, right? Like if you're on every day bringing in 0.5% overall against your profit, then you're doing okay. Like from what I'm experiencing, if you do 1%, you're doing all right. And if you have ones that don't make the 1%, but you have other days that overall break that 1%. Over like in crypto, 7 days, you're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're happy with that, then you're doing all right. Are you looking to expand into other asset classes?
I'm always like looking around, seeing, and also, the ones I play the most are ES. And oil. Those are probably the two
Those are the two
I
most
play
common.
the majority of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are very
But
common.
I do look at the markets in the morning to try to determine, which is moving the fastest.
Yeah.
And there are days I just don't trade at all, though, too.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah,
it's
yeah.
looking-
I mean, it's like that one day I was showing you on the July 5th where it was like 4 positions. That was it, right here.
Yeah.
So you get those too, of course.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how you're doing it because I've got a couple of people trading only what you're mentioning, oil and ES, and that's it.
Oh. Yeah.
But the thing is that I don't know if you've been watching what I do with the CFDs on Awanda. Let me see if I can find Awanda. This is I probably can run it right now. So with Awanda with the CFDs, I know Americans cannot trade CFDs, but they're fun to watch. Let me just see if I have the script. Nope. Okay, and just give me a second here. I gotta go to another directory.
Sure.
And again, this is all in Python. See, the one thing I love about the guys over at the people over at MotiveWave, they actually implemented something that I was wanting, and they did it. I was like blown away. This is why I really like these guys. Something's going on here. Hopefully, I can find. I have another system that has all the latest scripts. So I'm just trying to find the right directory here. Okay, Awanda, Python. Let's see if I can find it here. No. I always say it's Monday. Yeah, it's on my other system. But actually, I can show you on the Instagram. Give me a second here, because I do remember I posted this a few days ago. So the Instagram, is this it? CFD crypto volume. Did a lot of posting. Forex.
You're old stuff.
What's that?
You seem to be constantly posting things.
Oh yeah, like I'm like a machine when it comes to this. I'm just trying to find my crypto stuff. Okay, I know it's one of these things right here, but I put everything on Instagram. It just seems the most logical place to put it. There's the Forex. I'm just looking for. I did do some crypto or CFD stuff. Here we go. Okay, so here I track by volume. This is on Awanda, and I've read Bloomberg, the news app, for a very long time, and really optimally for trading on a as an institution. All you're really wanting to do is to do what I call watch where the hot capital goes. So in this case, wheat's volume's up, the NASDAQ at this time, and then Hong Kong. So with Awanda, it's like the poor man's way into the futures and options market. So I can use CFDs to watch what's going on in the CFD world and trade where the money's flowing into and where the trading opportunity is. And let me just see if I have the profit. So in this case here, I could tell out of my movers, because it tracks the whole space. It goes from commodities to the indices globally to financial markets. So here we got Hong Kong is up 5, and these are hourly moves. Hong Kong is up, the Hong Kong 33 is up, and then the NASDAQ is up at that time. So that tells you where the profitable opportunities are, and then I want to use that data to translate into a live market space, like Interactive Brokers or wherever I can get access to these markets and trade on that, and also on the short side as well. And that's one of the reasons. Go ahead. Sorry.
That would be interesting to do.
Right, because this tells you, and you see things that you wouldn't see otherwise. Like if you were to trade overnight, which I track, Hong Kong is always up. When the Hong Kong protests were going on, last week, for whatever reason, the Hong Kong markets were going crazy. The Hong Kong dollar was going crazy, but no one could explain the performance was there, but it was. But I was able to see that through the CFDs on Oanda. And if I had access to the market in a real futures / options market, where do you think I would have traded? What this data is telling me. So all the time, if you're looking for optimal performance from what I've seen in the Bloomberg News app stuff that I consume, try to every day, where I slow down a lot, but there were definite trends when something's going on, money's moving into that market or something related around it, and you get these optimal performance. It's an amazing space to be in. And a guy from Singapore told me how it all works, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of opportunity here. And it's not just in Forex and not just in crypto, but this is the optimal way where you can make your most cash is through viewing the market like that.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm definitely wanting to pursue, but use the CFD market as my overall view of the market, where the cash is moving into right now. So
Kind of like a thermometer for the market.
What's that?
Different markets. It's kind of like a thermometer for different markets.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, when the markets go bad, I see performance in copper. I'll see performance in some agriculture product, like in sometimes sugar could be up for a day, or wheat can be up for a day for no reason. And sometimes if I see wheat is up, I'll look at it, and it's a simple news item where it said, "Oh, Australia's in drought, supply shoots up, price shoots up because of that." And that's the sort of thing I look for. And it's not just moving up 1%. It's like big moves, like 3, 4, 5%. And it's like this spike that lasts for about 5-6 hours. And then it moves into another market out of Asia, if it's like in Australia or something related in Asia. It seems to move, and you can track the same themes in Europe as well. Because right now the big performance, everyone's talking about gold as a performer, as a commodity, but when you look at the gold-silver ratio, that outperforms gold. And the other one that does well is if you can get access to something related around Treasury or UK gilt or the excuse me, or the Deutsche Bund, you could get outperformance there too on a long-term basis. But people don't see that. They're not seeing that in the markets. So that's one of the things that I love about something like MotiveWave, where it can really yell at you if whatever your data provider shows you that, and then you have access to those markets to live trade. You could get amazing performance with that, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You just got to know what you're looking for. But the way I've set it up for the CFDs, it seems to work really well. Kind of like close to the market. I was just listening to Bloomberg today, and they're saying with the trade wars, people are going to start moving currency trades into currencies like the Korean won or the Thai baht, and you would see that, and you can get that through other markets like a futures market or an options market. But you got to know about it. But you got to be able to build the tools to see those assets. So that's where I want to go with it down the line. But right now, as I said, I'm just focusing on the crypto and Forex. And the cool thing about Forex is when something moves and you know it's moving using the bid and ask, or in a way where they give you a long and short, if you know convincingly you get more longs than shorts, not only can you trade just off of that, but you can add the leverage by 5, let's say, or 6, and get extra performance with it if you get the call right. So that's what I'm tracking and testing right now with the Forex side. But I've just not lately been able to get anything momentum based in Forex. Like you'll get little blurts here and there of momentum based trading opportunities, but they don't last long. Or if they do, then a whipsaw comes in and wipes out the opportunity anyways. And that's the hard part of the trading is the whipsaws.
That always happens.
Yeah. But that's where MotiveWave really comes in. And I think MotiveWave, especially through Rhythmic and the order analysis, It's very, very, very deep. I was like, I'm blown away on how good it is. And I'd look for it. And it's an amazing new feature that they put a lot of emphasis on. But as I said, it's only available on Rhythmic with the new MotiveWave 6.
Right.
So that's something I'm wanting to get into. So I don't know.
Cool.
There's so much to do, man. It's crazy.
There is a lot. Yeah. So many different ways.
But of all the retail platforms out there, I will tell you, I will hands down say MotiveWave is number one.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've taken a look at some of the others, but I've bounced between a variety of different platforms.
If I were you, I would just focus, if you can, on the Python, and you could integrate the Python through Redis. And if not, then you connect through it with the Java SDK they provide.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping for, go ahead.
I got to resubscribe to your Python course.
Oh yeah. Email me.
I had that for a while.
Yeah.
Then gotta throw.
But
it was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. It's been up. I don't know when you took it, but when I've updated it in the last year and a bit, like it was originally in Python 2, but now it's in Python 3. And But the next big piece I want to add to it is the Forex. Because the core of it's the same.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't know if have you been using Redis at all?
I started. Well, you're the one who introduced me to Redis through your Python program. So I started playing with it when I had the subscription.
Right.
But I haven't really fooled around with it lately. I get trapped by squirrels.
Yes.
Something comes up and I go running after it for a while. So.
There's that what we call chasing the latest shiniest toy syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that very well. I've done that. And then the thing I just wanted to bring up about Redis, there's Redis Labs, and they've just got the metric that blows away Oracle. The metric is that you can now, Redis has gone through the architecture, how they set it up through AWS. The thing can now pump out 200 million transactions or transactions per second. 200 million, dude. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So
that is amazing.
Yeah, I mean it's done through AWS on the cloud, but I can tell you, pump that kind of data, you're going to have a very expensive AWS bill.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think Redis is still the number one database to use as your backstore.
And it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's simple, but I haven't seen any of the new features in a while, but they're apparently bringing out new versions, and it's pretty crazy. But the way I built it, it's very simple, and just use it as a simple data store. But if you want to go beyond that and do things like redundancy and replicate, you can go crazy with it. And the nice thing, it doesn't cost you anything.
That's really nice. Yeah, definitely.
but the other thing I've discovered, to be honest, when it comes to the technical analysis, I'm going to be honest. The technical analysis is okay to confirm things, but all I'm using now is just rate of change to measure the price, the change of the price, the order book itself, which I think is amazing. You don't get anything better than that for the bid and ask or long and short. And then the other thing I use for pricing targeting levels is Fibonacci. That's all you really need that I'm seeing.
Fibonacci. Yeah.
You know, and trying to find out how to work with potential whipsaws is the other one. So it's measuring the spikes to get optimal trading opportunities like this one here with the Hong Kong 33, and then being able to find patterns from that. And that's what I'm hoping to do down the line with some form of machine learning, something or other.
Yeah.
If I can do that, I'd be. Go ahead. Sorry.
That would be pretty cool if you could do that.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, from what I'm reading, it's possible. The problem is setting it up and working. It's a real pain. It's a lot of work. But I'm hoping with a new TensorFlow too that they make life a lot easier. So we'll see. But so far, I'm liking the direction I'm going, and as I said, with this performance I just told you, that's realistically as best as you can get. I was trying to go for like 80% win ratio, and then screw it, I'll try to go for 2/3 win ratio, and I've started realizing that's pretty hard to get. And if I can keep it above 50 consistently, I should be happy with that. Because calculating the entries is not the hard part. It's the friggin' exits.
It's always the exit.
Yeah, well,
I mean, that's where the money management comes in in terms of how much of your account you can put on the line, and then what are the projected exit points, and what's your stop loss, how much you end up losing on this, what's that risk.
Yeah.
And if you can manage that, you can make money on even if your bot is right 35% of the time.
Right.
But it really becomes that a money management problem. Like, where am I going to be taking profits? What is reasonable to expect? Where do I just call it a day?
One thing I've not factored in is you can apply stop losses on Kraken. So when it comes to those positions, like these ones here, these 0 P&L, I can exit based upon those stop losses calculations.
Right.
And that's one form of protection. And obviously do the same thing on Oanda as well. But the challenging part I found of all of this, no matter what asset class, what is your likelihood of having a whipsaw that comes out of nowhere that will take out your open position? That's the struggle I find.
And those always occur.
Right. But there's a way to do that, is to track the whipsaws themselves. So the question is, are you willing to put on a trade with a particular instrument where there's a high probability of whipsaws? So you track all the whipsaws. You put everything on a watch list, and you track all those whipsaws when they get knocked out. And that's what I do. And if I know that at that point that the market for that instrument's too volatile, I will not trade it.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with the Forex. And that seems to work really well. And using also the long and short position analysis that you can get through Oanda, and only trade assets. Well, there's only one or maybe two for the day, where you only trade those when the volatility is really low, but it sustains the long and short ratio of at least 60%. That's what I look for, and that's what I still need to experiment on the Forex side for a momentum trade. And then there's a totally different level for the pair trading on the mean reversion. But I'm locking it down, that's for sure. But I think I kind of have something with the crypto on momentum, what I'm showing you right now.
Yeah.
So
it definitely looks like on the right track.
Yeah, I think so. Sure. If I can zero out the bad trades that just break even and use those stop losses, that's fine. I can protect those trades and hopefully ensure that they don't lose. Obviously, slippage is a concern. I have no control over that. But if I can find that magic number as a form of a stop loss, and then let the other trades trade, hopefully I can get a ratio of at least 50% of the time on a winning trade. And then the other thing is I can also use, as you call it, money management, and deploy and increase the position sizing if I know when the asks are much higher than the bids for that particular coin at that time. So I have all these different data points that I can use to sort of optimize the profit opportunity when I can get that. So that's one thing I could factor in. And on the Forex side as well, I'm only focusing on longs. But when if I was to show you the opportunity on the short side, there's quite a few of them. So there's that too I've not factored in. And then you can also, again, on top of that with the Forex, experiment with the leverage for the shorting side as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping to do. And then record all that data and then try to build a machine learning model out of that data for each asset class. But we'll see. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, man. You got to love it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Do you do this full time or do you have a job?
This is my job. I do a variety of different investments.
Oh, okay.
Not just day trading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you got the time, it's something worthwhile to experiment with. But I'm gonna take a look at this OFA and see if it's something worth looking at, and at the same time, think, well, here's the plugin, but does the new MotiveWave 6, take away the need of this kind of plugin?
Yeah. Probably there's got to be some overlap between the two, definitely.
I would, but I don't know how this plugin is engineered, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're using the same data source as what MotiveWave provides. Who knows?
Yeah. Right.
But he's engineered it differently. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know. So he's using volume. I don't know. I have to look at this thing.
Yeah. He's got some volume profiles in there, and he's got a variety of different functions that you can turn on and off.
Right.
But he's got kind of like his standard set.
Yeah, and that's
pretty customized.
So that's through. You're paying monthly for it? Oh, single payment $9.99.
Right.
Well, if you're getting
I bought a lifetime license.
Oh, lifetime. Oh, there's a lifetime as well. Okay.
Yeah. Ninja Trader. That was the other
platform.
Do you use Ninja Trader as well?
No. I back when I was starting with futures, I was using Ninja Trader. But it was okay. It was like one of those ones that I tried out. I'd say it wasn't the worst platform.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit buggy.
Yeah.
At least not like Ninja Trader 7, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember
that. Yeah. And then I found after a while, after trying to couple different things, then I found Sierra charts. Sierra charts I really like. And I think if I hadn't found MotiveWave, I would have stuck with Sierra charts.
But
I thought the support was pretty good. The development was good. I thought the charts looked nice. Yeah. And the other thing, I use a Mac. So if I can get something that's native for the Mac, I prefer to do that. I do run Windows inside of Parallels on the Mac. So if I have to, which I do actually have to do now and then.
Right.
But then I found MotiveWave and said, this is the solution.
Right. Well, that's why I switched over too, because of the Mac edition. But the thing is that it's Java, so I'm hoping to see a potential Linux version. Because I'm wanting to get off of my Mac now as well. I just find the quality of software on Mac has been dropping, and the service and the whole experience with Apple's not the same as it was up until maybe 2 years ago. So I've been playing a lot with Ubuntu and some other Linux distros, and I find it really good. And it's free.
That's
free.
I just like the security of the Macs.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know. I don't know if I agree that the software quality has gone down. I think the OS is pretty robust.
Yeah.
And now I'm running Catalina.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even though it's early beta, it's pretty stable.
Yeah.
Actually, in terms of crashes, I haven't had any crashes. They're completely eliminating support for 32-bit apps.
Right.
Yeah. But I like the look of it. Windows, I just do not like the look of. Linux, I've done a lot in Linux in the past.
Because I'm running my stuff, the bots and stuff on Ubuntu. I haven't run into any problems. It's not a glorious looking interface, but I don't care. But the thing I'm finding with Mac OS is that everything's lagging now, and I think it's my hardware. But the thing is that I don't want to have to go out and spend $2,000 or $3,000 on another laptop, and it's just I can get the same hardware for like really cheap. And as the cloud comes about, who knows if I deploy eventually things onto Google, and I don't know if you've seen the Colab with Google and all the TensorFlow stuff. I mean, what they've got right now is pretty stellar. The TensorFlow, see, right now Google's in a mode of where I don't like Google at all, but the one thing with Google is they're moving out of the ad revenue business, and they're trying to be like Amazon, and where they use the AWS as their profit center. So what they've done is, and the reason why they did it is to bring out TensorFlow so that it's like this awesome, machine learning framework that people are addicted to and they become dependent on. So they brought out this tool called Colab, and the amazing thing with Colab is that you just load it up. I can load it up here if I can find it. And the beautiful thing I like about Colab is you just focus on your models and your research, because on the back end of it, it's all like everything's built. Like, I don't know how to use this thing. I played with it, but all your coding is done through Colab, and it's through a browser, because all the hardware resources are already set up on your environment with Colab. Make sense? So if you want to do all your database, all your SQL, it's all done there, and you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? And you just focus on your coding for what you want. So you don't have to worry about all this Redis and all this stuff. And the thing is that they give you a certain amount of bandwidth per month to build your models and to test everything in Colab as an environment. And then once you reach that, then you have to start paying. But the thing with Microsoft and Azure, what's going to start happening, I'm going to start thinking, there's going to be a pricing war between Google and Microsoft on the Azure. Everything's going to eventually drop in price. So once everything's moved into something like Colab and Python using TensorFlow, all you got to focus on is just your model. And once you get your model working, you can easily deploy it onto a local environment and have some kind of live trading setup. And there's a lot of brokers moving into this. And it's just a matter of two lines, and you take your model and your broker. And this is how I see the future. And then once you set all that up and you need back testing data, it's all there. It's all pre-built. And you could just do it right through Colab itself. And that's all you focus on. And then you could set up a separate Colab environment for your live trading. I mean, this is, I think, the direction of how things are going to move in the way it's going in the next 6 months or a year. I mean, the what's being built out with this Colab is unbelievable. And it's from a company like Google. You know what I mean? It's not like some garage operation. You know what I mean? And it's all built around machine learning and Python. And if you're familiar with similar things like with the Jupyter project, and
I haven't played with this at all.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about this. But the other thing is, you could take your model and everything's all plugged in, ready to go. So all the needs, if you need a GPU, it's there. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You just turn it on and configure it through the Colab.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
And,
You just gave me enough to play.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if I was to bet my future on something for like really going crazy, this is it. Because this can work with. They're going to have a version for Java, and if an engineering company platform like MotiveWave pay attention to this and be able to build MotiveWave to interface with this, with the Python or Java or however they do it, it would kill everything else out there. And then on the top of it, have all the killer tools that you get with MotiveWave. But I do really think this is the future. You know, and Google's really hammering on it. And we have not talked about how easy it is to connect this into Android as well. So this could be put up on your Android tablet or your Android device. I mean, this is where I think the future is for anything machine learning, and specifically when it comes to trading related. This is the future. And you know, if you were to bet all the different horses out there, if it's AWS, Azure, or Google, I think Google's going to win it eventually, because the new TensorFlow is they made it so easy to work with, or that's the claim. You know what I mean? But this is a very cool because you have all the GPUs ready to go. It's just a matter of turning them on in your code, and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
The only problem is the cost. That's it. But as I said, I think there's going to be a major price war between Microsoft and Google on that. Even Microsoft have realized that they cannot force people to use the .NET and all the Microsoft tools. They've actually had it. If they're going to stay in business in 5 years, they have to follow the direction of Python and R as well. And this is all the same with R. So it's going to be either Python or R that's going to drive the future of all this stuff, and it's going to be the machine learning and the deep learning, all that stuff that's going to drive it. And this is where the theoretics of what you build as a trading model, and then you amplify it by deploying it onto something like this. And if as I said, I was to bet the future, I think it'd be on the Colab.
Yeah. This looks pretty cool.
It's beyond cool, dude. Like you will be like if you watch this guy Suresh Raval on YouTube. This guy's awesome. I know who you mean.
I've seen some of his videos.
Oh yeah. He's this guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. I really like him, and he's the guy who turned me on to Colab. And then I started realizing there's these chatbots. I mean, it's crazy what you can deploy. Just crazy. But there's so much opportunity with this. And the way I look at it, of all the people I've seen on anything machine learning, taking something so complicated, simplifying it, and then, you know, he seems to be pushing nowadays either PyTorch or Google TensorFlow, but with the new TensorFlow 2 coming out and these kind of free tools that Google's developing, I mean, why wouldn't Google kind of lead it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, this is awesome what you can do, and I'm hoping the guys at MotiveWave see this as an opportunity, and then build something on top of this with MotiveWave. They would own the trading platform space, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
cool.
Because when you look at all the other trading platforms, like I had people, like we looked at MetaTrader for Forex with a bid and ask or long and short. It doesn't exist. Even if the API gives you access, the platform will not give you access. And that's you holding out your profit potential.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
It's amazing how many bad trading platforms there are out there.
Well, it's not just that, but I find it really more frustrating where the blind lead the blind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you get MotiveWave, and now what I've seen with the newest version, and I don't need to believe it. I know that the trading opportunities on the order book analysis, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Bid and ask, long and short,
Sure.
in real time, where the money's going on those particular trading pairs, whatever you're trading, whatever instrument you're trading. You know, and if I was to show you some stuff, you go, yeah, that right there is an opportunity that's screaming money at you.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to trade. All the technical indicators are fine and good, but I use them now as a secondary because I just use them as a visualization to confirm something, and that's it.
Right.
But for leading direction and confirm market trend, I always use long short analysis or the bid ask for the crypto. And it rarely leads me down the wrong path. And then you throw on the if I was to show you the charts on the Fibonacci, you would see things move up. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but historically, with the Fibonacci, at least in crypto, it's so predictable. Like it's almost so predictable. Not quite so much with Forex, but it's still pretty good. But with cryptocurrency on Fibonacci, when you watch those prices and when they hit certain levels, it is scary. It's so scary. It's so predictable. It's unreal. And that's all I need.
It means everyone's using Fibonacci.
Yeah, I think honestly,
exit and buy entry level.
Well, it's for timing. That's it. It's just for timing.
Yeah.
Right.
I use Fibonacci for timing, rate of change for the speed of the change, and the bid and ask or long and short. That's it. That's all real time. It does not lag. It's just all pretty well built around simple math, and for me, it seems to work. The only thing is to find the predictability of whipsaws, because that's the only thing holding me back from trading potential. It's just the whipsaws.
Yeah.
And there's ways to get around that too, I think. But right now, that's all you need. And I'm finding all the other indicators sort of lag. You know what I mean? And it's that lagging that can screw you up. But for preciseness, it's the bid and ask and the Fibonacci for the target levels, because that seems to work pretty good. At least in the crypto space.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think we got.
I gotta get going. I got another call.
No problem.
To get into. But thanks. This was really good. Thanks for the one-on-one.
No problem, dude. It works out for you, man.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad I
enjoyed it.
And we'll talk to you one-on-one as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
But as you know, you got my email, so you can always reach out and wherever I can help you out.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
have a good rest of your day.
Okay, same with you, man. You have a good trading week too.
All right.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right, man. See ya. Bye.